UFOs, whips, pigs, what do all of these words have in common? If you guess that they are names for our unfinished quilty projects, you are right. UFOs would stand for unfinished objects, whips is works in progress, and pigs, you might not have heard of that one, but that one is projects in grocery sacks. I don't store my unfinished quilting projects in grocery sacks, but maybe you do. And yes, today we are going to be talking about our unfinished quilting projects. A couple weeks ago, when I shared my machine binding tutorial, in that video, I asked you guys to hold me accountable for finishing some bindings that I wanted to get done on my quilts. And knowing that you guys were checking in on me was just what I needed to get those projects finished. And so I thought it might be fun to put together kind of a UFO challenge that we could all participate in together if you wanted to encourage each other to get some of those projects done. So today I am going to be sharing some of the projects that I want to get done this month, and then a month from now we'll check back in and we'll see exactly what I was able to get accomplished. And if you want to participate, you can just drop a comment below with something that you would like to get done this month. Now, that could be a quilting project. Maybe you have something that needs bound, or you want to get quilt blocks done, or you want to cut out a quilt top, something quilty that needs accomplished. But maybe it isn't something quilting. Maybe it's something different that you want to set a goal for yourself. Maybe you want to have coffee with a friend that you haven't had coffee with for a while, or maybe you want to take somebody a meal, take a meal for a family. So maybe you have that sort of goal. I want to walk every day, or I want to just get out in the outdoors every day. Whatever it might be, just if you have something that you would kind of like to get done and you think a little bit of encouragement might be helpful, just drop it in the comments and we will see what we can do in the upcoming month. First, before I share my projects that I want to get done, I want to talk about this quilt behind me, and you're going to see why in just a little bit. This is my Happy Scrappy Baskets quilt pattern, and this quilt uses a lot of 2.5-inch squares and 3-inch squares, so it is a great scrap buster quilt. You can also make this quilt using 2 layer cakes if you prefer to work from a pre-cut. For my quilt, I used 2 layer cakes. I used a layer cake of the print fabrics from my Sugar Creek fabric collection, and I used a layer cake of the woven fabrics from my Sugar Creek fabric collection, and I mixed them all together. This quilt has been washed and dried a number of times, so it's all crinkly and wonderful, and I really enjoyed having some of those woven fabrics in there mixed in with just the pretty little prints. It was really fun to mix them together. So that is that quilt. Now, if we move here, you're going to see I have another Happy Scrappy Baskets quilt. And I actually made this one before I made the completed one that you just saw. This one is made much scrappier. It uses a number of different fabric lines. I used fabrics from Lella Boutique, from Fig Tree, and then from my own fabric lines. And it is just scrappy and happy, and I love it, but I have not yet gotten it quilted. So that is one of the things I want to get done in the upcoming weeks. I want to get this sent out to my long armor to be machine quilted. I'm not worried if it gets bound right away, but I do want to have it quilted. So that is the number one thing on my list. The next project is one that I've been working on and kind of had going for a lot of years. I'm gonna slide these over here. I have been collecting these are tea towels, motifs cut from tea towels from Fancy That Design House. Now, I started collecting these, I'm gonna say maybe 5 to 7 years ago. And now Stephanie designs fabrics for Moda Fabrics. So you can get these wonderful, not all of the exact ones that you see here, but you can get these wonderful hems in panel form in some of her fabric lines. So before I was able to purchase her fabrics, I was buying her tea towels with the idea that I wanted to turn them into a quilt. And I've started, but I have not ever finished. What I've done so far for these blocks is I have cut out the motifs from the towels, and then I have fused a lightweight interfacing to the back. So it just gives them a little more body. So now they are ready to be sewn into a quilt top. And I'll show you kind of what my plan is for them, but I want to go through some of these because I think they're so pretty. They are all hymns or lyrics from hymns, titles from hymns, and I just love them. I am such a hymn girl, so being able to collect these has been just wonderful. But you can see them all here, and I have collected kind of a rainbow of them, from reds all the way out to the purples. And you can still, I had these outside to take pictures, so every now and then I find a little bit of grass on them. But you can still find these on her website. I will link to that down in the description box. So if you wanted to snag some tea towels for yourself, you could. But I think they're so pretty. And that red one is the last one. What I'm going to do is pair these with some of my Tilda fabrics. I have a big collection. This is just a small portion of Tilda's that I pulled to kind of coordinate with the tea towel colors here. And I have cut some of these strips. And I've been collecting Tilda fabrics since before you could get them in the United States. I'm so thankful that now they're so much easier to purchase, that there are fabric stores that carry them now here, because I used to have to order them and have them shipped from overseas. And now it's so fun just to be able to purchase them so much easier. But I've cut some of these strips out. I'm just gonna border them. These will be 2 inches finished. And I'm just adding a simple border around each square. And I've cut out a lot of them, but I know that there are some more of these that I still need to cut. Aren't these pretty? I just love these. So down here at the bottom, I don't think I've cut any of these like reds and oranges down here. So I think I still need to cut that one and some of these here. But I need to for sure go through the strips and see exactly what I still need and then get those cut, border out the squares, and then I'm just going to add a solid sashing in between the squares. I have a solid that is pretty much the same color as the tea towel background was, so I am going to use that for the sashing. So my goal is to get these assembled into a quilt top, and if I could get that part done, I would be really happy. This has been, well, I collected the tea towels for probably I mean, it probably was over the course of 5 years, maybe more. I collected the tea towels, and then it's probably been, I bet it's been at least 2 years since I cut out the squares and started cutting the strips, and now the project has just been waiting on my shelf. So that is definitely one that I would like to get done because it's one I'm really excited about and it will be fun to work on. So in about a month, I will do a follow-up video, and hopefully I will have a quilted Happy Scrappy Baskets quilt to show you and a completed hymn quilt top to show you. That would be exciting. And I give myself grace. I know that I have a busy couple months coming up. I have a fabric deadline in 2 months and a pattern deadline in 1 month. So I know that the next little bit is going to be super busy for me, but sometimes I can just fit in a little bit of extra sewing here or there. So that's my hope. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done, and that is just fine. If you want to participate in the challenge, go ahead and comment and let me know what you might like to get done. And again, it doesn't have to be quilty. It can just be something fun that you want to accomplish. I know for May, one thing that I am planning on doing is a 5K every day in the month of May. It's something that I have participated in a number of years, and I will either run or walk a 5K every day in May. Now, some of you might not want to participate in that kind of a challenge, but if you do, I am going to link to the group that I team up with, that I join in with when we all get together and do that in May. So if that is something that you think would be fun, or maybe you want the month of April to mull over if you think that might be fun, you can take a peek and maybe you can join me in on that too. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Tomorrow I will be back with another making of the book series video, so I hope to see you back here for that one. And let's just all encourage each other to, get some of these things done. Thank you for stopping by, and I will catch you again later.